I was born in Vancouver, Canada, and I lived there until I was about 25. And then I moved to Toronto and slowly made my way down to the U.S. I've been here about 20 years now. As my mom neared retirement, she got involved in the wine industry kind of as a hobby, but took a lot of courses and traveled a fair bit, and I was exposed to that then. On my dad's side, he grew up in Hungary and came to Canada in the 50s, but through his dad was a farmer and grew tobacco, and his uncles all made their own spirits locally, I think generally for themselves, the stuff I tasted. But so there's a little bit of that I had in some of my background.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I would like to see us get into a whiskey of some kind fairly soon, and I've been hoping for that for quite a while, but it's hard to get the raw kind of the inputs to go into that product in Vermont, and so it was a bit of a challenge. So we had to think how we could sort of get around and still come up with some dark spirits that are just making clear spirits, gins, vodkas, things like that.
Business.
I'd had a variety of jobs before then, and I was looking for something to do probably 6 years ago, I guess, and was asked to come in as an investor and ran marketing for a while. And then almost 4 years ago, Harry and I kind of took over management of the company. We've been running it since then. So indirectly, this is what I'm doing now, 8 days a week. When the opportunity presented itself, I did spend some time looking at the business and where it was, and could see that the industry was really starting to grow, much like beer microbreweries had 10 years before, and wine certainly when it took off in the U.S. in the 1970s. And that forecast has certainly played out. There's more than 400 microdistillers in the U.S. now, and I like it. There's a lot of really interesting components to the business, and I like the people we're involved with. We're in a pretty exciting business in Vermont, and the state has been wonderful for distillers just in the last couple of years by really opening up the opportunities we have to make good products, make good Vermont-based products, and sell them to the public. Tourism is big in the state, and we're really able to open our doors to them, I think, and follow our colleagues who've already done a great job in the beer industry and the wine industry before that. So it's a good time here to be running a small business in Vermont. I also see our business evolving with fine foods, where the bar in all the new cocktails and signature spirits that are being created, artisanal spirits, the bar has really become an extension of the kitchen. People have always liked good food, but now I think there's even more so of this, things are made locally and increasingly good quality. Vermont puts out a lot of those base foods that go into really great meals. And we're doing the same with our cocktails. It's not just about going and order your straight whatever and tonic kind of drink, but it's our cocktails, the spirits we're producing, really tie into what people are choosing for a dining experience as well. So I think it's really created a bigger sort of environment for people to enjoy good quality things that we make. We have lots of recipes. We work with mixologists, or we come up with them on our own. We're asked to make them for certain events. So we have a growing number of cocktails, seasonal ones, and you name it. And they're on our website, but we do have we're going to try and put a book out with that. Being in this, working with Harry in this kind of management of the company, we're exposed to just different challenges all the time, whether it's producing a new product that he gets excited about that I know we can go out and try and sell. There's a lot of legislative challenges, which I really enjoy working with lobbyists in D.C. I spend time with. I like a lot of production challenges. There's just so many moving parts, and that really keeps us busy. We always have to think, and I don't have to be at a desk. We get to be outside a lot and constantly meeting people, traveling. So it's a really good, fun place to just kind of work. It is also, while there's a lot happening that I enjoy, it's much more complicated than I expected. There's a lot of time of really having to learn a lot. The learning curve is quite steep, and we're both getting there slowly, but I am surprised by just how complicated the business is with varying government levels. It's competitive. The industry is just evolving so fast that really trying to keep in there and be competitive is harder than I thought it would be. I've learned a lot from Harry on our Vermont Gold, our maple product. But I think where I grew up in Canada, we had a lot of apple orchards, and my family still is in Hungary. They have a lot of apples, and I'm really excited about some of the new products we're starting to work with now. That's another great crop in Vermont, and we're really trying to focus on what the state offers. So I've enjoyed that process of trying to do some product development and think how that new brand would fit into the market. Getting this place open, for sure. When I got a call that the stills were turned on last October and everything was working, it was a really great day because we'd spent a lot of time building. It just, things took a while. Hurricane Irene came through last summer, and that slowed everybody down, and so we were a couple months behind. But when that switch went on, everything worked. It was a great day for sure. So we've been working for a while through that. It was a good day.
I can imagine.
I like hot dogs from Costco. I'll drive to a Costco to get a hot dog there because I know how good they'll be.
That's a good
My
one.
food would probably be fairly cliche. I'd probably have a steak dinner or something like that. But I think I'd have something from home, a big pint of Molson Canadian beer. I would like that. Just nice and cold, and I'd be happy. Actually, just recently I was at a conference in Kentucky, and I got to go in for a really up-close, extensive tour of Four Roses and also Wild Turkey. And it was phenomenal just to see, hugely successful businesses and enormous operations. And we do the same thing they do, but on such a small scale. And just the, rooms full of, liquids and things moving, and computers and people. And it was really, really incredible to see what you could do in both those places and make world-class spirits that are just enormous in scale. I enjoyed visiting Tuttleton Distillery, which is in New York State, and they're much smaller, but a real leader in our business, and that was great just to see an exceptional, now national brand that was made in a quite small place, a great group of people, and they have a really good business. Sure, I'd like to go out and see Hangar 1 at some point on the West Coast. They're an early business in our industry, and I'd like to see Clear Creek in Oregon. They make a lot of really great fruit distilled products. Death's Door Spirit in Wisconsin, I'd like to go to as well. I like them. It's just, there's so many, just get out on the road and tour, and all the people I've met are really interesting people to talk to. And so when I have some time, get there. Drama, I watch a lot of Law and Order. CSI, Miami. I actually started watching Sons of Anarchy a lot. I like that. Yeah, I'm up a lot in the night. I watch a lot of TV. I'm sure I have. One that just jumps up is kind of old now. The Brothers McMullen. It was three brothers in Boston. And it was more just about their life. It was Irish kids growing up there. But they always drank beer in almost every scene. And I went out of that theater desperate to go and have a cold beer somewhere. And I don't know why, that just reminded me of. It's just this urge to go out and really have great bottled beer. I just wanted the Game with Michael Douglas. I like Being There, an old one with Peter Sellers. I enjoyed that a lot. And my dad and I used to always watch Clint Eastwood movies when I was really young. I'd dress up with a little tarp or something over a hat and pretend I was the character. And that was a good memory I had of old movies.
Very cool.
Sure. Well, having spent 10 years of my professional career in media, I worked at an international print and now sort of broader multimedia company when I was at Forbes. And I really believe in that and getting information out to people. And obviously, as just going through mainstream outlets, I think doesn't necessarily do justice to everybody who wants to access information. I think there's always another point of view, and certainly what I learned as a reporter. So I think having local outlets, it gives people information they may not otherwise get. There are a lot of people I think want to know just what's happening down the street, not necessarily in another state or another country, certainly. So providing that local information is important just to keep communities together, and who's your neighbor and what's going on with them. Because ultimately it comes down to smaller groups. Without that, I think we sort of lose our structure.